Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Just La La Land. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back, y'all. I'm Lala. Don't mind my hair. My hair is not done in the back, as you can see. It don't matter. It don't matter. Anyways, y'all, by the title of this video, y'all already know what I'm gonna be talking about in today's video. I've been meaning to put out this video forever because this is literally like the most question that I get right now, like with everyone. And I didn't really announce it too much on my channel. If you don't know, I'm married to my husband Charles. I call him, his nickname is Charlie. My husband, y'all. I didn't really announce it on my channel because I wanted to announce it at the right time, and at that time I don't even know, I didn't want anything. You know how like God tells you to just be quiet sometimes? I didn't really announce it yet. But yeah, I'm married, y'all. But y'all already know that because y'all already know that from my if you watch my channel, y'all already know that from how I got my apartment. I had told y'all like my husband, and I said that. But yeah, I wanted to officially announce it and to like introduce him as my husband on my channel, but I didn't really get to do that yet. But yeah, he's my husband. I'm so in love with him. I wanted to talk about how God prepared me for my kingdom spouse. I'll literally just start from the bottom. I'm gonna start from the bottom. I'm gonna go into a story time, and I'm gonna tell y'all how we met, how God prepared me. So basically, right now I'm 23. I turned 23 in November. It is currently January. So it is 2025. When I met my husband, I was 21 in 2023. I was currently in Houston. I'm not gonna say I was living my best life. I don't want to say that because I believe my best life is yet to come. My best days are ahead. But I was living, like I was in Houston. I was single. Me and my brother lived in a house in Houston, so it was just me and him living together. We were just really just living our lives. It was a good season. I would say that it was a good season in my life, but I would say this is a better season in my life, so I can't say it's the best, because I would say this is the best season in my life, but I can't even say that because my best days are yet to come. But anyways, so yeah, I was single. And I was 21 years old, and I was living in Houston at the time. And y'all, in that season of my life, when I say I was living a good season, what I mean is I was so devoted to the Lord. Like I had family all around me. I had friends all around me. I had a good church in Houston I was going to. But we are the church though. But I was real life just single, but God told me to enjoy my singleness, but in a way that honored him. Like I was married to God in that season. Like I was just literally so at peace. I had purity. Like I would say, like I was just so devoted to God at that time. I wasn't even worried about meeting anyone, I'm not gonna lie. I've never had a boyfriend at that time. I was 22. Never had a boyfriend at all, or nothing. I'm not gonna say I haven't talked to guys before, but yeah, no. But yeah, I never had a boyfriend. And another thing, I was waiting till marriage. Like guys was not, like men just wasn't on my mind at all. Like I didn't care. Like that wasn't even like in my head at all. Like, oh, like having a boyfriend. Of course, like I wanted to get married in the future, but I didn't think it would happen. Like, anyways, I was single. I was so devoted to God. I was married to God. Like it was me and God at the time. And I just remember one day God sent me a dream to fast. He told me to fast. I didn't know what for, nothing. He just told me to fast. And at first I had trouble. I had so much trouble just sticking to that fast. I don't know why, but I was like, okay, God, you gave me so many signs to fast. I'm gonna fast. I started fasting, and then God kept sending me little signs. Like God would confirm, like he would send me a message or a revelation, or he would confirm something in little ways. What I mean by, as I was going to church, at my church, they started doing a relationship series. So it's like every month they would have people in relationships come and they would preach and just talk about like relationships with Christ and like relationships, like being married. And I remember my pastor even saying like, I just feel like he was basically telling people that are single, he was like, for some of us, we're gonna meet our kingdom spouse. And I was just like really engaging in that sermon. And he preached that sermon, well, he preached that series for like a whole month. And then as I'm still continuing to fast, I just picked up little signs like, God, y'all, I kid you not. I literally would open up my phone and I would literally just go on anything like YouTube, Instagram, or whatever. I remember clicking on this video and it was like, God, I don't even watch videos like that. Like I didn't even mean to click on the video. It literally popped up on my phone. That's another thing. I did not click on that video. I somehow like, I don't know what I did, but I just looked at my phone and the video was playing and it was like, you're about to meet your kingdom spouse. I kept seeing that everywhere. It was like, you're about to meet your kingdom spouse. And then I remember even watching a podcast one day and I was literally fasting. I was continuing to fast. God was telling me to fast. And I remember watching this podcast and the lady in the podcast, she was literally talking about how God told her to fast for her husband so she can meet her husband. Y'all, when I was watching that podcast, I was like, okay, I keep seeing, like, I kid you not, y'all. I would literally screenshot it or I would just literally hear a conversation about marriage. It was just like, I was like, okay, God, like, I see. And so, yeah, I was fasting. And then I remember going to my friend's. My friend invited me to go bowling because it was his birthday party. And that day I went bowling. I was still fasting. And I didn't even, at first I wasn't going to go because I had tons of homework. And I remember my friend was like, just come. Like, yeah, so I came. I met this guy. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, when I met him, I was like, I don't know, it's just like something, like, I really can't describe it. It's like I seen his light on him, whatever. I met this guy. Keep in mind, I met a guy that night. And after that, bowling was over. He asked me to go to Waffle House, but it was like a group thing. He was asking me, was I going to Waffle House? Like, was I going with the rest of the people after the night had ended? And I was like, yeah. So I went to Waffle House. He wasn't even there. And mind you, I broke my fast that night eating Waffle House. And when I went to Waffle House, I'm eating Waffle House. I broke my fast that night. That night, the guy that I met was not at Waffle House. So I'm like, I'm a little curious, like, how is he gonna ask me, am I coming to Waffle House and he's not even here? but at the time I wasn't even like, oh, I'm not like, I wasn't looking for a man or whatever, but I'm not gonna lie, it was a spark. So boom, I'm like, I can't believe I broke my fast. Like, I've never broken my fast before. That was the only time. I had so much spiritual warfare coming at me at the time. I just felt so much spiritual warfare, y'all. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday. Like, I just remember, like, I was literally getting attacked by warfare. And God told me to go back on my fast. I did my fast for like 3 more days. And literally, I ended my fast. Like, the second I ended my fast, I looked at my phone and I see a message from my friend, the guy's birthday party I went to, the one that invited me to bowling. And I told y'all, remember I told y'all I met a guy that night. And he was like, my friend such and such, something about, just telling me his friend never got my number. Mind you, he never even got my number. He asked me, was I gonna go to Waffle House with him? Like, he wanted to see me at Waffle House. And I'm like, oh. Like, literally the second I ended my fast, y'all, I seen that text message. And I'm like, okay. But I don't even think I gave him my number. I think he followed me. Oh yeah, he followed me on Instagram. And he started texting me or whatever, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm so completely was not interested in men. So I'm like, okay, but something told me to text him back. So I started texting him back, and then it was just like an instant connection, y'all. Like, I do not text people back. I'm not even gonna lie. I did not talk to no one. Like, in that phase in my life, I was not talking to anyone. something told me to text this guy back because I met him and y'all, I seen the light he had on him. I felt his anointing. I don't know why, but I did. And so he asked me on a date. We go out, like literally as soon as we started talking, and then he asked me on a date. And mind you, the guy, remember, my friend, the guy that invited me to bowling, he's friends with both of us. I'm his friend and he's the guy that I met's friend too. So my friend, the guy that invited me to bowling, has a girlfriend as well. And I'm friends with his girlfriend and him. So his girlfriend and the guy that invited me to bowling was trying to do like a matchmaking thing. And I seen what they were trying to do, but it's like he was already talking to me. Like they didn't even know he already had asked me on a date, but they were inviting me and him over to their house so we can have dinner all together. And I'm like, I tell them, I'm like, y'all, like I already went on a date with him. And they're like, what? Like, whatever. Anyways, so I went on a date with him and y'all, we were literally just talking about, like, the date was a 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie. I've never like had a connection with a guy that was so genuine and equally yoked, y'all. So I told y'all I was waiting until marriage. Like I really didn't care to find a boyfriend or anything because I was waiting until marriage, another thing. And I just remember we were talking and having a deep conversation, and this guy that I met that asked me on a date, he was just telling me that he wanted to find someone who was waiting till marriage, like me. That night he told me that I just seemed so pure. You know, guys do like to talk or whatever, but the way he said it, it's like I felt God. I just felt God doing this, y'all. And he was telling me that he wanted to wait till marriage as well. And I've never, I'm gonna be real. As a woman at 22 years old living in Houston, I've never met somebody that was equally yoked like me, like as equally yoked together. And we met, we started going to church together. And at first I was like I've never had a relationship, so I didn't know how to feel. I remember praying to the Lord. I asked God, I said, God, I don't know, like, how do I trust? And God told me, he said, do you trust me? And y'all, I remember having a dream. I had a dream of him bringing me roses, like he was carrying me roses. And y'all, why I woke up the next morning and he brought roses to my house. Like, God, that was God, y'all. Like, God is intentional. He sent me that dream so I can know it was from the Lord. And I woke up and he sent me roses. I literally seen him bringing me roses. God, and I woke up, him ringing my doorbell, and he got me roses. God is intentional. And I was like, God was literally telling me to trust him so I can trust him. And I was just like, okay, Lord. Next thing you know, like, we're meeting each other's family. I'm his girlfriend at the time. And then we just start dating. And then, boom, he had to move to Colorado. I fast again. I do another fast. I was looking for another job because I wasn't moving to Colorado at the time. He was moving to Colorado. And I'm like, dang, we have to do a long distance relationship. Next thing you know, I get offered a home job. That was literally just a blessing right then and there. I was looking for another job. But y'all, I get offered a home job. And it was completely remote. And the home job started on April 5th. Y'all, why Charles, the guy that I was dating at the time, he was moving away for a job. His job started on April 5th as well. So I was able to move to Colorado with him because of the home job that I was offered on April 5th, and his job started on April 5th as well. That was literally just another sign. And that was I was fasting for a job. God told me to fast, and while he told me to fast, he told me it would be fruitful. And I fasted, was searching for a job. Boom, I got offered a home job. Next thing you know, he asked me to marry him. I I knew it was from God. Like, my relationship with him was from the Lord. God already confirmed that to me 1,000 times. And then we got married, and now we have our home in Colorado for right now because of his job. And yeah, I'm literally just living a good life, a married life as a Proverbs 31 woman. I just want to say this as well. Before you can actually have a husband, you have to be submitted. God has to be your husband first, because God is in the center of our relationship. But in order for me to be the person that I was, to be able to marry him, God was equipping me to be a wife, because I was so devoted to, like, y'all, God was my husband. I remember it was a time, I remember I was just crying to God because I didn't want our relationship to end. I know this sounds crazy, but or whatever. I remember I was like crying to the Lord because I was like, Lord, I love our relationship. I don't want anything to get in the way of our relationship. I love the Lord, and I was so submitted to God. And some of y'all are searching for y'all soulmates, and y'all need to be searching for the Lord. Like, some of y'all need true healing, and you can only get that from God. Y'all, like, but yeah, y'all, I just want to say, like, you have to be married to God first, and God will bring you everything. There's nothing that the Lord can't do for you. He wants to do those things for you, but he wants you to come to him first. And some of y'all are looking in the wrong places, but y'all, God is going to send it to you. If you're a woman right now, I believe that if you're watching this video right now, there's a reason why you're watching this video, and maybe you're about to meet your kingdom spouse. Maybe you already have. Maybe y'all are dating. But I just know God is going to send you someone that loves you. He's going to send you someone that loves you the correct way. He's going to be the head of the household, a provider. He's going to pray over you. He is going to be a husband, and he's going to be so submitted to God. And y'all, when I just say, like, I truly pray that God sends you your kingdom spouse. It's so beautiful. I'm literally just, till this day, I'm like, wow, like, I went from being single my whole life to married at 22. I got married at 22. I'm just like, wow, like, I'm married. Like, God did this for me. And I even remember, like, when I was like in my young phase, probably like 2021, I remember I was in that mindset, like, oh, like, before I was in that like mindset with God, like me and God were married, I remember being in a mindset that wasn't good for me. And I just remember, like, oh, I don't want to get married one day. Like, I just had to like, nah, I don't need a husband like that. I just feel like that mindset was not for me. And I remember my cousin was like, you do want a husband. Stop getting in the mindset of you saying you don't want a husband. You don't want a relationship. You know deep down that you want a husband. And I just feel like y'all have to speak life over that situation. So if y'all are like in that mindset, that childish mindset that I was in, like, y'all dating around, whatever y'all are doing, if y'all are like, I'm not judging anyone, but I just truly know that God is going to send you your husband, but he wants you to be submitted to him first. And God is going to equip you to be that Proverbs 31 woman. And if you already are that Proverbs 31 woman, y'all, when I was literally in my singleness, God told me to enjoy my singleness. He spoke those words over me. He said, enjoy your singleness, because you're going to meet your kingdom spouse one day. And not saying that it's not going to be good, because those are going to be the best days. Like, being married is a gift. But right now, just enjoy your singleness. Like, I feel like if you're still single and you're waiting on the Lord to send you your husband or your wife, keep waiting. Like, enjoy your singleness. And when I say enjoy your singleness, I don't mean date around and have fun and be thotty. I don't. What I mean is, like, have friendships, serve. Just enjoy your singleness to the Lord. Like, have fun, but in a good way, you know? Like, enjoy life in a good way. Keep waiting, y'all. Like, enjoy your singleness, but be submitted to God in that singleness. He's equipping you. And one day you're going to meet your kingdom spouse, and it's going to be beautiful, and you're going to know it's from the Lord. And waiting till marriage, y'all, like, it's a beautiful thing. If you're honestly waiting till marriage, keep waiting. It's going to be beautiful. You and your husband, you're going to make God so happy. The enemy likes to come after purity in women. Like, we have to be mindful of that. You and your husband, God is going to bless you in abundance for waiting till marriage. But anyways, y'all, I just wanted to come on here and share that quick story time with y'all, how God prepared me for my kingdom spouse and how we met and all of those things. And I just pray that if you're seeing this, then get ready to meet your kingdom spouse. And bye, y'all. Y'all have a blessed, great night, and y'all like, comment, and subscribe.